Up guys, in this tutorial let's see how to implement Google Maps into our Flutter application of Grocket. So the first thing before implementing the Google Maps is downloading the dependency itself. So you can just move into a pubspec.yaml and here open your command palette by pressing Ctrl Shift P and under pubspec assist type Google Maps underscore Flutter and here select the first one and be aware to be constrained the level to be 20 because it is the most stable version of a Google Maps Flutters. So I can press Ctrl and S to download it from pub.dev. And the second thing you will be needing is an API key from Google Cloud Platform. So I can move into a browser. And here I have already opened my Cloud Platforms window. So you have to create a new account to the Google Cloud if you haven't created it. And under the credentials, here you will see all your API keys. So this one is mine. It's quite confidential. So I can just copy it from here. And after copying it, I can simply paste it into going into our Android application source under the main this Android manifest.xml. Now here under this Android icon I can simply paste a metadata saying metadata of Android. I will take a name and give it a name of com.google.android.geo in capitals API key, that is API underscore key, and here the next value will be Android value to be the API key we have copied, that is I can just simply press Ctrl and V, it will be copied here and press Ctrl and S. Now we have pasted our API key, so let's create a proper platform for it. So I can delete both of them and under this body instead of a container I can simply return Google Maps itself. Now we need a proper controller for it, that is a map controller. So I can simply go up and here I can declare a Google Map controller, say my controller. Cool. So under this Google Maps, we will need certain parameters to declare it properly. So under this Google Map I can declare certain parameters for our Google Map. So I can write a map type to be map type of normal, we want normal one, and the second thing is initial camera position from where our view of Google Maps shall be starting. So I can write here initial camera position. Under camera position I can bear it a target of latitude or longitude. We have to provide a latitude and longitude here, that is 21.1458 and the longitude to be 79.0882. And similarly I can provide a zoom to it, that is of let's say 14, and similarly here I can provide on map created and here I can provide my Google Map controller to it, that is Google Map controller. It will have an instance of a controller and under this small function I can write the my controller should be equal to the controller, press semicolon here. So this was out for our Google Maps, but we have pasted a API key in our Flutter application, so we have to do one thing, that is press Ctrl and S once, and also we have to close our entire application because we have added a new dependency. As you know, our platform exception error can be occurred, so we have to close the entire application once. Now after closing application, just move into a terminal of VS Code itself under the terminal, and here I can write Flutter clean because as we have pasted an API key, it is must necessary to clean all the previous API builds for our Flutter application. So I can simply press enter and it will clean all the metadata that was before. Now we can also launch our application once again after checking all the things. So I can just press F5 to run our application once. Now it will take 5 to 6 minutes, so I will meet you in 5 minutes. Alright, so our application is up and running, so we can just log in with Google into our application. Okay, so let's check our map section. If I press this button, so here you can see we have initiated our Google Maps. As it is in an Android emulator, it will take more time to load because of its virtual machine. Because as it is on a virtual platform, it will take more time. So we have initiated our map here. You can also zoom in as well as zoom out from here. Okay, so this will be a type of our map, so we can change the type here from map type dot hybrid, and if I press Ctrl and S, you can see that we will be saving a hybrid type of map. Now as I said before, it will take some time to load, and it is a random location, so we are getting just this location. You can zoom it from it anytime. Okay, so let's try to implement a marker here, and the marker will be type of home. So I will just come up from the return statement and I will return a set of marker itself. Now it will take a method name, so let's name it get marker, and in this method it will be returning a marker itself. So I can write here marker. Now here we can initiate a marker which will take the following fields. So now let's change it to dot to set. Cool. Now this marker is going to take a marker ID, so I can write a marker ID to be marker ID, and it will take title. So let's name it grocery store, and the next thing it will take is a position, that is the initial position. So I can write here position to be latitude longitude. Let's copy this random position from here and paste it here. Cool. And the next thing it will take is an icon, so I can write here a bitmap descriptor. Now it will be a default marker, and the last thing we need is the information about the particular thing. So I can write an information to be info window, and it will take a title. So let's name this title as shop. Press Ctrl and S. Now to initiate this method, that is get marker, into our Google Maps, just we have to type here markers to be get marker itself. Press Ctrl and S. Now you can see we have a marker at this random position, and if I click over it, you can see we have a title of here, that is the title of shop. Now this was a marker. Okay, so we have our shop here. Now this was Google Maps, and it is more important to load all the marker from the Firestore, as we are studying about everything about Cloud Firestore. So we can also do one thing, that is initiate all the markers and their location from our Cloud Firestore itself. So to do that, we have to implement two different methods for getting a data as well as setting the markers in our Google Maps. So to do that, we can similarly come out of here, out of override, and I can simply initiate a new method. So I will write a new method of get marker data, and this method will be asynchronous because it will be loading all the data from the Firestore itself. So let's initiate a Firestore itself. So I can write a firestore.instance.collection, the old school thing. So I have written a data for it, that is, and here we can give a path of data. So in my Cloud Firestore, I have prepared some mock data for our in tutorials, so I can give it a path of data dot get documents, and if we get all the documents, so I can write here dot then, and if we get all the required documents, so I can give it a variable, say my mock data, and after receiving my mock data, I can perform some actions on it. So I can write here if my mock data dot documents is not empty if they have some of the data there, and here I can implement a for loop. So I will write for integer I is equal to 0, starting from the 0 till I should be less than my mock data dot documents dot length, and if it's so, I will increment my counter, and under this counter I have to perform a method for implementing random markers on it. So to implement that function, we can create a new function to fetch the markers data. So I can write here a void method for init marker. It will take two parameters, that is a specify and a specify ID. It will be a synchronous one. Now under this init marker, we will need a variable of marker ID for an individual value, which should be the specify ID that we have declared in the parameter. And downside here, we can declare a final marker ID to be marker ID, which should be equal to the marker ID of the marker value, which is marker ID value. Now after this, we can also declare a final marker object instance. So I can write here final marker to be marker is equal to marker. Now similarly, it will take all the data that we have done here that is in our individual marker. So I can come up here and write here the marker ID to be the marker ID itself, and after that I can declare the position. So I can write here position to be lat long, and here I can write specify for location, which is the key of my Firestore. I can write a plot location dot latitude, and similarly for longitude I can write a specify location of longitude. Cool. Now we can also implement an info window to it. So as similarly I did to this, that is our shop. So I can write here info window to be info window, and it will have a title, let's say shops, small snippet which will be downside of the initial title. So I can write a snippet to be specify under the address, which is a particular field in my Firestore itself. And after this we have to set the state of the marker itself. So but before that we will need a set of markers, so we can declare it here, and I can write here map, and it will take a marker ID as well as a marker itself. Now let's name it to be a markers field, and I can say it to be equal to marker ID and marker. Cool. So we have implemented the particular set of each and every marker here. So I can come down here and set the state of the method. So I will write here markers under the marker ID should be equal to the marker, and it should be equal to marker. So it is all for instantiating the markers in our map. So we can declare this method here in our for loop. So I can write here init marker, and it will take a specify and specify ID. So we can provide the ID by just saying my mock data dot documents of index I dot data. And similarly for specify ID, I can specify here my mock data dot documents under the index I of document ID. Give a semicolon here, press Ctrl and S. Now it won't do anything because we have to also initiate our init state method to get the main branch of the children widget. So I can declare our init state method here. So I can write a void init state, and here I can instantiate this marker data, that is get marker data, and also super initiate, that is inherit from the init state itself. Press Ctrl and S. So now let's do one thing, that is reload our application once from here, that is a hot restart to it. Let's log into our application once with Google. So now if we check our map, okay, so we are getting error of platform exception error. So we have to do one thing, that is close the entire application and reload it once. So let's close our entire application from here, that is terminating the debug session. It will throw a timeout after 1000 milliseconds, not microseconds. So let's reload our application again once. Now it will take 5 to 6 minutes as I said before, so I will see you in 5 minutes again. Okay, so our application is up and running, so just log in it with Google once. Now also make sure that you have changed in our main Google map, that is from marker from get marker to this thing, that is set markers, that are fetching the set of markers of the marker value, which is this. So let's check it once. So if I just press this button, you can see that I will be getting markers of all the places that are shown here, and if I just hover over it, you can see that I have my shop of title as well as snippet of the particular address, which is this. And similarly from here I have this address of new zone as well as I have a title to it, that is shop. So in this way you can link your marker with your Firestore just by initializing the Firestore data itself and making a init marker method to fetch the markers from the Firestore itself, and similarly overriding the following method in our init state method. Else you can also do one thing, that is set an individual marker to your data, that is by just using the set method of set marker, that is of type marker, get marker, and it will return a marker which will contain an object instance of the marker itself, and it will contain marker ID, position, icon, and information window. So this was Google Maps for you. And in later lecture, we are going to create some beautiful UI for our applications and also wrap our application as well as upload some of the images to the database itself. So I will see you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.